It's connecting and we are good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Um, so we would wait for a few minutes for people to join, and I'm going to also record on the cloud. And yeah, so I'm making you co-host Lotaro because there are people joining, and we need to accept them in. I'm just adding the first one,
Okay.
and
How's it going, Esco? How's it
hello
going?
guys.
Oh,
Thank you for joining this webinar. We might give it another minute or two. We have live on LinkedIn. A few people will join there. And also we have the Luma event and see if we can add them here as well. So I'm going to share my screen. Just so let me do that here. Just a second.
how's it going, Lindsay?
Hey, I'm good.
Awesome. We'll just be starting in like 2-3 minutes here.
All right, sounds good.
So I'm going to the full screen and I'm sharing my screen here. So I notice people are joining. For the sake of time and for the maybe for 1 minute, I'm going to just chat about forms and kind of why I chose this topic, why this is important for as part of the a lot of sales and marketing funnels. Essentially, if you have done a good job of organic, like a SEO and organic traffic, you have a lot of people visiting your website. At the end, they want to connect with you. And essentially, today's the main way is submitting a form. If you run ads, submit a form. If you run an event, people submit a form. Some businesses require forms because they need to pre-qualify you to ask a series of questions. But a lot of times it's a get a code kind of questions. They might ask one or two in addition to an open-ended question. But essentially, that's the way we capture leads. The question might be, we also have chatbots. We have live chat, and we have AI agents that are coming also to be behind those chat technologies as well. The difference here is when we have a volume, and if we are thinking in a B2B or organization, when your ticket size is not transactional, so like it's more than a couple of $100 to thousands. When you have live chat, people are asking basic questions. That's okay. We can use AI agent for it, or they might ask a couple of questions. You have some agents somewhere in the world. They can help them, walk them through, and book them for follow-up questions. But a lot of time in many businesses, you need to build trust and rapport with people, and you need to meet them. You need to have a more meaningful conversation from your experts to them. So that's where forms will be there forever, because we need to make sure that we treat every lead properly, and our experts, our team are not available all the time. So forms are a key way to capture that. So a lot of businesses, they might have a few, like a 5 or 10. That's okay. So you can handle it maybe daily. And what if the number grows to 20, 30, 100, 200 per day, and some businesses even more? The game is different. So like we can, and the reality case is here. So in most businesses, it's a 2 day to get back to a lead who submitted a form, and almost 40% of the leads, they never receive a response from the business. And probability of getting a qualified lead out of that form submission significantly is lower if you wait more than an hour. So there's a case here. So we know that there is a high value. We want to build that rapport with people. And at the same time, we are not we are not, we don't have the capacity. We have the human capacity to qualify, research them, and write to them is limited, and therefore there's always delays, and sometimes we invest a lot of money to get those leads through forms, but we don't even engage them. And the reality is, in a paid ads, that means $10 to $100 per form submission, which is a massive investment at the scale. Quick intro about Personize. This is our vision. In the next 5 years, we'll see that each business can interact with thousands of customers, thousands of potential customers, and treat them as if they truly know them. And the reality is when I say truly, means that they remember things that they said before, they can research them, they can analyze, they can build that rapport that we always imagined that was human to human. So businesses will get that power, and we want to be the part of that solution. And there are a lot of challenges will happen when you scale from a couple of hundreds of contacts to thousands. And that's the kind of the transition we think that will have a massive impact into to the way we think about business, to do marketing, do sales, and engage customer. When it comes to HubSpot and Personize, and I'm going to specifically focus on forms, but I want to give you context of when you think about AI agents inside the CRM, like HubSpot, what can you expect? One is data cleaning. So like a company name is not clean, there are typos. You want to just deal with a lot of unstructured data, and AI agents, they can take care of that at a scale. There are a lot of expert logic. I don't know how to put it in a word. I choose the word expert logic. And what I mean is, a lot of time, it's not a condition if this true, then do that. There is a mixture of different things, lots of missing data, and you need some reasoning-based type of decision-making to solution. And agents can be that. They can learn about your domain, and they can take care of those logics. And then we have 3 main categories: research and enrichment, qualification and segmentation, and with them, and then we can personalize content. And our focus is when you have a large number, 10K, 100K contacts in parallel, the way you think about AI agents is completely different from when you have tens of them and you want to just have some assistant with it. And we are focusing on how to do it, because our vision is that's the bottleneck of going to the vision we are pursuing. And we have different types of agents. We call them researchers, reasoners, writers, and we have AI filters. But essentially, each is responsible to do one task, and that task perfectly, where we know errors are handled, quality is consistent, and these are the details that are important to trust it when you are scaling to a large number of kind of leads. So you will see even in the form example, these agents are pre-tested, and our goal always is to make sure that we handle all the edge cases, because we want to trust them to go fully autonomous. Especially when you have a big number, like a couple of thousands, there is no possible way to have human in the loop, and therefore we need to figure a way to fully consider a situation that would be fully autonomous. This is a very practical but good level implementation of our solution within a HubSpot workflow. We have form submission. We have analyzer that would analyze based on a number of factors. Google and research.com figure that those information. Some of that data points extracted from this business analyzer, like B2B or B2C. This is one of our base analyzers we have. We have also a specialized one for different industry. It do qualification, and then we pass it to a writer. That writer will use the form data and do it. But for presentation today, I'm going to we should start with a simple implementation. One example that is something I can present today, but kind of you can start connecting dots and see how far, and after that we can go. Everything will be within HubSpot. The interface is familiar. You don't need to go anywhere. You can see result here. That said, I'm going to show you that you can use our studio for preparing and testing before you are deploying them inside your HubSpot. And the only thing is you have personalization tokens. We know them for decades now, high first name. The only thing you have to do differently after that is use these tokens and give us the full control of writing the body or the subject line or whatever it could be. It could be an automatic email, it could be manual email, so you assign it as a task to SDR, but the email is already well researched, the contact is well researched, we know what they provide in the form, the email is drafted. So, but essentially, the idea is we don't do any change management kind of things related to our end users, our salespeople. The idea is we just want to empower them to deal, manage, and handle more conversations, meaningful conversations with more qualified leads. But before I go live, I like this exercise, which is sometimes it's a great question that give us a lot of good understanding of possibilities. What essentially, if you want to think about human or AI, what ideally we want to do once a form is submitted, what we can do. One thing obvious would be we want to write back to them as early as possible instead of saying, "Hi, first name. Thank you for your request, and someone in our team will get back to you shortly." That kind of response back, you want to respond again very fast, but at the same time build that rapport, at least some initial rapport, say, "I know that who you are. I appreciate the considering our business. I understand you said this is in the form, and we can do it." But we can do a lot more on that. Essentially, again, these are things that we learn a lot with our customers. Sometimes people submit a form. There are lots of missing data. Some of those intentional, like typos or a wrong email address or your company URLs. You want to fix them before even they touch your data. And some of those fixing can be logic, but the beauty of language model is you don't need to have someone to write custom code for you. If you have a specific issue with your form, you can just explain it to ChatGPT or any LLM that you can use through our AI agent, and then say, okay, if you see these kind of things in the form, reject it or treat them differently. Qualification is key, and sometimes we know there's a lot of businesses just routing of the right reps, but there are a lot of them that do some ranking, and we started to introduce some ranking based on reasoning and using large language models and the right bucket, the right ICP, if they're qualified or not, and then writing emails. And again, you can create tasks for the lead owner and provide some notes and research result. The thing is, that's if you have this behind your like ads campaign, you maybe pay 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, even more monthly on paid ads. At the moment they submit a form and you have a process. But imagine that you have this replacing your existing way of handling those leads submitted through the form. The impact would be significant and very like you see the result and changes immediately. And that's the beauty of using AI agents. And the only thing is we need to make them predictable, and that's exactly what we are doing. I'm going to show you a couple of examples, but I want to make sure that if there are questions for me or any, just let me know. Any questions here?
Yeah, I have a quick question.
Of course.
Yes, so I think one of the struggles is the duplicate accounts, right? Like some users or records having different emails, and how do we like um, how can this tool help us merge them, even if let's say one email is using Gmail and then or another email could be using like different domains.
So thanks for the question. So this is a big problem. This is an old problem, but honestly, this is about it's all about the quality of the data. There are different ways of answering them. There are technologies that they are removing duplicates. They are fixing issues with titles or so on and so forth. There are some, I would say, not AI, but there are a bit of kind of smart logic that they just try to see patterns and merge them, and that's one. There are an enrichment that we also have some integration with those enrichment and also that can look at the email address, first name, last name, and try to fetch the most recent information we can find publicly and try to figure and merge them together. And then there is some exploratory kind of enrichment tools. We have one, and there are more as well, that you can essentially be more creative about those information, because it's hard to put a logic. So therefore, you use a bit of more agentic approach. But the answer is, to summarize, there are tools for data cleansing, removing duplicates, and building and merging the kind of information inside HubSpot. There is a term of identity resolution, unifying information about contacts, understanding who they are across different platforms. We are working on a concept around that, like a unified memory, so we can start remembering everything from a person across different platforms. But that would be maybe beyond, like, maybe too much for something like the task you have is fundamental. It's very important, but a lot of tools might take care of it, like by 90% where you want to get. But if it becomes complex and you have a lot of complexity, I would say just know about this. There are technology that they deal with those kind of unifying identity and merging that, but each come with some limits.
Got it. Thank you.
Any question, guys? So I'll continue, but please know that you can comment here, so just the chat, and hopefully, Matt, if you can check LinkedIn in case if people have questions. But I'm going to show you a live demo, and the intention of this live demo is kind of give you some possibilities, and my hope is kind of that would translate into some interesting ideas for your own business. So this is HubSpot Workflow. If you are familiar with HubSpot, this is what we call a trigger. And just a second. These are the triggers that you can add. I added a form submission to a specific form. It's a simple demo form with researcher. This is a name that I chose. And this is the form essential. So you can provide the first name, last name, email address, company name, website URL, and finally you provide what requirements you have and you submit it. And once this form is submitted by someone, that would be the trigger. We have one step that we are essentially trying to be very minimal change inside HubSpot workflows. This agent, as I mentioned, when we have a web app, we are introducing as a concept of run, or which is essentially one agent or multiple agent package under one run. We essentially tested them to make sure that they are consistent, the quality. They know the research is the way we want to research each person. This is the way they write. This is the way we want to write emails. And essentially, this agent just needs the first name of the company name, first name, title, company URL, and some information from the form as a context. Altogether, it would write. And then the results, we have something we call it like a wait. So sometimes the result might take minutes. Sometimes you don't want to wait in the workflow. You say no. But in this system, because we have enrollment, so we are enrolling in a sequence. We want the everything stop here until the emails are generated. It might take 1 minute to 2 minutes to happen, and then everything goes to enroll into a sequence. And sequence already know what to do things, and essentially that would be all we need to do. Essentially, I created a list. I would say you can always recommend, if you are considering our technology, have a demo list so we can practice with different ideas. But when you have a form and you want to review the results, I would create a sample form, and then I can generate some emails. I can see results, and I can optimize it later. The question, I know that you have questions how we would improve it, but I want to show you the final result, which is all you need to do inside HubSpot. And then once you put this publish this workflow, essentially after every form submission, something like that will happen. It goes and search that company, analyzing, write emails like the one I showed you. So if I, thanks for submitting the form, And in the form, you mentioned you need help defining your ICP more clearly and balancing outreach between IT and ops teams. I also noticed you acknowledging that I read your kind of information, talk about their ICP and who they are serving to, and then you just kind of make sure that you meaningfully provide some response and buy time for your team to follow up. Again, you can use AI for some follow-ups as well, but essentially this email has this element. So there is a mention of their ICP. There is a mention of what they provided in the form in open-ended kind of requirement section. And I think if I look at maybe some other ones, again, there's a pattern. Like we have their ICP, and they have a specific thing they mentioned they want to help, and we say, okay, when we are going to chat about it, we understand, we listen to you, we know these are the things that you care about, and we are going to come prepared for that, and then that's all. So this is the end result, and I want to go to our studio to show you. This is like a 5-minute setup, and maybe just do it for a couple of records, just submit and finalize it. If you like it, everything's ready to go, and you just publish it. So this part is almost done. Like it's just kind of, you just need to finalize it and get that done. Again, there is no end to it, so you can also add, as I said in the presentation, so you can add qualifiers, you can add different types of things, and I'm going to show you some taste of it if the time allows in during this call. But if I go to the Personize, the setup would look like something like this. If there are different agents we have, so let me stop this. So we have email writers, some of them is optimized for Apollo, some AI filters, and we're adding more and more in our starter studio, which is our new, we launched it recently, and we are adding MCPs, we are adding a lot of things, but we are making it super simple, and we have a bit advanced, more customizable version, which will go under Pro. But essentially, we think that a lot of people wouldn't just need this. So if I select this form, I can connect my HubSpot, Google Show CSV. In this example, I always recommend to have a demo list inside HubSpot, and then you have variables will be mapped to what exactly exists inside HubSpot. So you don't need to be worried about them. And the only thing you need to think about in this setup is what would be my pitch? If someone submit this form, what am I going to tell that person? Based on what's my strategy. For example, I want to invite them to this. Maybe there's a specific nuance. What would be the pitch? And you can start with them. These are optional. You can ignore them, but you can also provide some information here, and then just the model will have some examples of how you would write to that person. So I'm going to show it to you. So once you have them, you map the output to a specific variable inside HubSpot, and you run. And I'm going to do it together. So essentially, what we started to do as a strategy is we know that prompt optimization and advancing, sometimes we need some fine tuning. It's a bit, actually, it's a lot for someone to consider, and that for that reason we started to come with the approach of variables and the language a business person understands. So you just need to focus for this agent. You just need to have some idea of how you want to write this email. Thank you for your interest. I'm eager to that. And you guide them, like I mentioned, their top 2 ICPs and mention their product. And if there is a form, use the form data to just kind of personalize. As you saw, it is already following my instruction. And that would be short, your language. You can put some, maybe if you want just something avoid or something like that, you can also provide it here. And also we have what we call avoid list. I think that we've seen a lot, and we don't want a model to just do it. So don't use these words and things like that. Another time you can reuse them. And for the aim of these examples, I start with one example, essentially preparing for this demo and this webinar. But I just started to put things together, 2 examples. Like I start with hi first name. This is Lautaro. They will learn about your company name and mention about their ICPs, and then talk about the form information they provided and 2 examples. And then I also copy pasted some of the good examples I liked at the end. So just the model understand it. The thing is, we always have positive, negative. So you can also provide things that you didn't like. But essentially, again, just copy pasting some examples, and you can start with nothing here. So optional is to just use some best practices to get some initial. But always, I would recommend to have some clear instruction here, because when you scale and put things on autopilot, you want to have the peace of mind what is going to happen. These are ways that you can fully control this agent to treat every lead in a way that you approve, the way you want to write the emails, and you don't want to leave anything to uncertainty. And that would be just a couple of variables. And a lot of this information, we written a lot of things that this agent generated, a scrape of the web result, the analysis of that, why the personalization is doing, how it came up with the personalization. That's a reasoning behind writing this email. So if I don't like the reasoning, I can optimize my approach, so the model just gets better. So if I want to just, I want to just subject line, I want to just put it in a subject 5. We have different pre-populated personalized variables. You have the option to choose and push the button, but essentially that will add that there. I just choose this custom property in my email for this follow-up, the subject 5 and body 5, and then I just ran it. Before doing it, maybe I just do it for 2, 3. I just want to show you something, and
Okay.
Yeah.
While this generates, we had some people join a bit later. So what we're doing here, guys, is previously what's happened when someone submits a form is they'll get an email back saying, thanks for submitting the form. Maybe here's some template options to go to a specific value prop. What we're doing now is once a form is submitted, an AI agent is going to go into that form, Google all the information, clean that information, and then generate a long text summary of who this person is, which is going to be used as context for an email follow-up that is going to match a specific value prop in your business with a specific pain point based off the research we've done on them. So instead of saying, thanks for getting that form done, we can say, thanks for getting that form done. We think this specific value prop is best suited for you for this and this reason, which is obviously a lot better of a customer journey than just getting a thanks for submitting the form thing. So what we're doing right here, when we talk about the email example variables and things like that, if we don't like the output of these emails when we're testing in the studio, we need to go back into these variables and provide a better email example prompt, or play around with the pitch variable. And that's how we can get these models to 100% accuracy based off your best practices when it comes to generating a good email. So that's what we're doing here. I'll let Hamid continue.
And I'm actually going to build on that. So you saw that I just generated for 3 of them. So if I go towards to the end of this list, you see there are 3 emails generated. And typically we have a CSV as a log. You can look at the sample result. Once you deploy it, you will see it inside HubSpot. So the one that you saw, this is the one I deployed before. So let's say if I want to do some changes, I can do changes here. And then I would unpublish this one and just use this one as a new one. But let me show it to you how it would look like. This is the email written here, and do I like it or not? That's all my choice. I can pass the HTML format to the example, but essentially I see some examples here. I also can see the subject line. Again, I didn't provide any instruction for subject line. It's too long and maybe not that personalized the way I want to see it. But this is how it would be something you would like. Let's call it debugging. There, like I see the email, but then so I can see the logic behind it. This email is personalized by focusing on these core target customers, clinic and hospitals and healthcare providers. It acknowledges their HIPAA compliant communication. So I just want to know what happened to came up with this email. Again, the big picture I said in the beginning, we want to scale on autopilot to a large number of contacts. We need to figure every piece of decisions this AI will make for us. So in this example, to reply back to this form, leads from the form. We want to know what happened. So you can if you see some direction, if you need to change it. If you read my pitch, you will see that I ask for the agent to focus on their ICPs. So that's why the reason is towards that. If I don't like it, I will change that, and that will be all you need to do. And I can go from one variable to another. So this is another email from a different company. And the other thing that we also pass is it's a two-step, two agent under one agentic run. So if this is the research on that company that is fed to another agent to write email. So that's about the team, news, blog, insight, things like that. And then it will just do it. So once you're happy with everything or you want to change it, you just deploy it. And if I change, that's all you need to do, and then it will be visible the other side. Essentially, that's everything. Honestly, it could be as easy as that. The only thing that in the beginning people try to figure out is when they can rerun it. So once I run it for 3, if this is something they want to do, especially a lot of time you want to batch process an existing list, you can make it a couple of thousands and just process everything through our studio. It's a batch processor. You just submit it and just give it a bit of time, of a couple of minutes, maybe an hour, and it just process 100, couple of thousands of leads depending on the task in hand. It can tag them, qualify them, and also write to them. But essentially, to summarize, is you have the variables, and once you have it once or two times, you have it for long time. And let's say 2 months from now, if you want to do another form, a lot of these variables would play a good basis. The other thing we do in the behind the scene is these variables give us a good contextual understanding of your business. A lot of these agents can leverage them to know more about your business. It's kind of similar to the concept of personalization we have in ChatGPT in cloud. So they start remembering key things about you. That will act as that. So and you see a lot of optimization will happen without you doing anything else. And that's, I would say, is all. And
Yeah.
any thoughts?
That was awesome, Hamid. Hamid kind of teased this thing that we're working on when it comes to deep memory on a per contact basis. We're gonna have another call regarding that. We're gonna be doing weekly calls just with a simple use case, explain how we've done it, answer questions, and the call. So we're gonna try and keep these short. But we'll open the floor right now to any questions. So any questions? Mohammed, I see you have your camera on.
Hello guys, thanks for accepting me to join this meeting. I would like to say that this film is not in my knowledge, so I'm here for getting to know about the marketing and something like that. But thank you for having good things. Thank you. Thanks.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Thanks. So
Yeah.
two options here, guys. So I sent you all a message with my calendar link, my LinkedIn. If you have a specific use case, message me what that is, and then I'll direct you on the right direction, because we work with people in 2 different ways. We have a product which you can log in, sign up, play around in that studio, but message me first what you want to do so I can send you some documentation that will best make that a better process for you. Or if you want to work with us on a long-term basis, where we kind of are the AI agent arm of your business, where we can really make sure your AI agents are at 100% accuracy. We do quality control. We continuously improve and build upon your best practices when it comes to sales and marketing, and then improving that with AI agents. Book it in my calendar and we can have an in-depth conversation. But if there's no other questions, we can end it here, but I'll open the floor one more time here. I just want to keep these calls short.
Yeah, and if there's no other questions, we can stop the call. We have a lot of examples for different industries, from insurance, from manufacturing, complex SaaS, IT services, and we start to see a lot of nuance here and there. the idea is we want to talk at one of these stories every week. So we look forward to see you guys again. And thank you very much for the time. And let us know if you have any questions. Yeah, good meeting everyone. And if you are in US, have a wonderful long weekend. And see you guys later. Cheers.
Thank you, guys.